Hey everybody, welcome back to Gold Conflict TCG. Ryan here. So Devlog 6, here we go. I said in Devlog 5 that by Devlog 6 I'd have the startup manager done, and I can officially say, yes, the startup manager is done for player 1. So good news, we've made some progress. If I kind of zoom out here, you can see just how big this flow is for the startup manager. It's pretty huge, but it handles everything we talked about. It handles the 7-card draw, handles a mulligan if you don't have a basic unit. It'll count the mulligans. It'll check player 2 for their number of mulligans. It'll let you draw cards for those. You can load your active spots. You can load your base. It runs the entire startup process. So just like in Pokemon, like if you're building a Pokemon game in Unity, like that type of game, this is the entire start sequence from start to finish. And if this very last state here is just set bull, just saying player 1 startup is complete. So that's the very last thing of the piece of the startup process. So startup manager is done. Over the last couple of days, I've been doing some research on multiplayer and using Photon and stuff like that. And I've basically come to the conclusion that for this project that we're working on, I started to get a little sidetracked thinking I would implement multiplayer into this, but I've actually decided to steer away from multiplayer for now and save that for a later project. So for this project, we're going to specifically focus in on just single player action. So we're going to play against the AI. That's eventually what we're going to do. So and really looking at my project, the way I have everything set up, it really lends itself to being a single player game at the moment. But definitely down the road, we're gonna work on multiplayer and make this something that we could play against people across the world. So with that noted, let's go ahead and continue on. Like I said, the startup manager is done. So today I was working on the coin flip. So when you initially start the game, there's usually that coin flip action to decide who gets to go first or who gets to choose to go first or second. So I started working on that process, and that's been honestly kind of fun. So let's get out of this Let's get out of the start manager because this is done. So what I did is I created a coin flip panel. You can see here it's just a blank panel, and it's just dark. It's just a dark screen. I got all these images of coins. So you can see here in my assets, I have coins that say player 1 and player 2. I actually just made these in Affinity, and so it's kind of funny. Like, this is how I know how to do things. And plus doing it in 2D, I wasn't really sure how to do it. So I just went to Affinity to something I know and just went ahead and made a coin that says player 1 and player 2. If I scroll down, you can see I have different varying sizes of the coin, like as it's like in a flipping motion. So it's kind of hard to do that with 2D, but this is the best way I came up with. And you can see here it kind of gets like really flat, and then it's like completely flat here, and then it kind of goes up to player 2, and then you get the point. So basically I made some pictures of a coin, loaded them into Unity, and then I have a coin flip manager down here, and look at this gnarly flow. Yeah, this is the entire coin flip process right here. It starts as soon as you press play, it's going to start the coin flip, and it's going to randomly choose a player, either player 1 or player 2. It's going to be random every time. It's pretty cool, but it basically what this flow does, it just waits for 2 seconds, so it starts just so it doesn't start immediately, and then it goes to state. It's gonna I'm setting a loop for 4 times, and then all it does, activate the game object number 4, which is the very flat coin. Does a wait for 1/10 of a second, deactivates 4, activates 3, and you'll see it's the crazy thing about this, and the reason why I'm like so excited about it, is just because I literally got this on the first try. Like, I just thought, I was like, oh, I'll make pictures of the coin. I put it together, and the first time I press play, literally this thing works. So check it out. Let's walk you through the whole thing instead of me yapping. So let's go play maximized, and let's press play. Here we go with the coin flip. Heads or tails, player 1 or 2. What do you think it is? Player 1, player 2. I think it's player 1. Oh, there we go, player 1. And it's flipping, and there's going to be a 2-second pause when it's done. Oh, it's player 1. All right. And then once that's done, it sends a global event to the startup manager. It loads the deck, and then starts the startup manager process. You can see here we still have our mulligan integer for the player 2. We'll just go ahead and click no. Go ahead and continue on with our process. Take our prize cards. All right, go ahead and load up your active units. So let's do that. We'll put an active unit here, and then we'll put another active unit here. Oh, now we need to put at least four basic, well, not at least. You can put up to 4 basic units on your base. I only have 1. Do that, and then now that we're done, so we can see what else I have in my hand here. I got a couple airdrops, a refinery, and an ammo. But I have nothing else that I could play at the moment, so we'll go ahead and click done. So message goes away. And so in the startup manager at this point, now that I've clicked done and my side of the board is completely set up, I check the bool variable that says player 1 startup sequence done, whatever I named it. And that's going to tell the turn manager, basically that's going to trigger the turn manager to start to take over. And so you could see that now, like, the startup process is done. Like, at least for my side, for player 1, the game board is set up, the deck is loaded, the prize cards are loaded. We have a spot for a discard pile here, so like this is done. Like the game board is set up, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and get out of here, and then I'll change the play focus just so you can see what this thing looks like when it runs through, because it's pretty wild. But gosh, I mean, it works perfect. Like literally the first try I put it together and it works. It's awesome. So watch, I'll click play again, and you're gonna see this thing is like crazy. I put 1/10 of a second between each action, so it kind of gives it this nice like animated look. But yeah, look at that thing, just snaking around, boom. It's just a snake of actions is all it is, and then it picks a random player. Oh, there's player 2. So it's pretty awesome. And then of course that random player that we pick, right? So like, I'll show you the action. So really, this is all just an animation. It's just for show. This is where the player actually gets picked. It's an array get random. So I just set up an array for players. It just says a string array, just player 1, player 2. Get a random player, save that as a random player. And then I just do a string contains. So I'm looking for string player 1. If we have player 1, then it'll go to this object here, and it'll deactivate that flat coin and then activate the player 1 side of the coin picture. If it's player 2, then in reverse it'll activate player 2 side of the coin. Pretty simple. And then I got another wait action here, just to wait a couple seconds so that everything doesn't seem so fast. Activate or we deactivate the coin flip panel, which is this black panel you see. And then of course we send an event to the startup manager. When they start working on player 2 startup manager, of course we'll add another event here that'll start that player 2 manager. But gosh, so that's pretty much it. I mean, startup manager is done. Check. Coin flip is almost done. There's actually a little bit more I got to add to this. Thinking about it, I actually need to add the panel where you could make the choice of whether you want to go first or second. That'll probably be in my next video. We'll have the choice panel, and then we also on that same thing, we're gonna probably need to make a panel in the event that the AI wins the coin toss. Then the AI is gonna have to make a choice of whether they want to go first or second. So that'll be kind of fun. We'll build some logic into that, and I don't know. It'll probably be like a random pick from the AI side of whether they want to go first or second. We'll see. But we'll build that. So that's going to be the rest of the coin flip. But at least for now, the coin flip animation and the random, picking of the player is done. So before I send you off, let's take a look at it one more time. I love it when like a plan just all comes together. Like it just works. What do you guys think? What's this time? Player 2, player 1. What do you think? Player 1, player 2. I'm going to say it's player 2 this time. Let's see. And coming up on the moment of truth. Oh, it's player 2. I got it. All right. So player 2, that would be the AI. The AI had 5 mulligans. Bad luck for them. We'll click yes. We're going to go ahead and draw all of our cards. Yep, looks good. Everything is working perfect now. Gosh, this took so many hours to get to this point. But it's working. It's totally working. Our prizes are loaded. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick an active. We'll put this guy here. Look, snaps into place, which is great. One of the other things I did too, like quite a while back, was like a week, sometime last week. I put a snapback function on these cards, specifically these blue ones, because these are the ones I've been doing all the work on. So if I drop it outside of the zone, it should snap back to the hand, which of course it didn't this time. I'll have to look at that again. It's supposed to snap back. All that was like to reset the parent or reset the actually take that back. It was like reset transform. I'm not sure why that didn't work that time. We'll have to go back and look. Of course, can't have it perfect all the time, I guess. But yeah, so look, that's done. And so now that I'm done loading my units, I go ahead and click done, and the process is complete. We check that bool variable. We tell the next step would be tell the turn manager that we're ready to start. So cool, that's it. I am going to leave this video off at this point. I'm going to take the victory for today. This was a nice solid session, a good win. We have a nice coin flip animation that actually works. I'm super excited about it. So if you guys enjoy this video, like, subscribe, join me along the ride. I'm going to be working on this game for God knows how long. But I think on the title of this video, I mean, this is going to be, obviously this is a devlog, but I'll probably put something in the title or in the description about being a coin flip. I just think this is really cool. I tried to look up 2D coin flip in Unity using Playmaker, and I didn't find anything. There's other coin flip stuff out there, but not specifically this. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, go and join me on the next one, Devlog 7. That should be coming around the corner. See you guys.